Hey folks, what's up, iyatee? So I had a little mishap. Got in the bottom of my kiln and I realized these were in there, and what happened is they didn't get unloaded the time before in the kiln. So these went to 600 degrees, which is way too hot for this flint, but I took a flake. It is super shiny, but it is a bit brittle. But I just wanted to see if I could make anything out of it. I don't remember messing with this, but apparently it was pretty tough. Not so much now, but anyways, I'm gonna probably get these in shape and maybe finish a point. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. All right, maybe start with this one. I'm getting my camper ready for 4th of July. Every year we go to a little local lake here and spend a few days around 4th of July. I've shot videos from there before and stuff, so I don't know how much. Oh, there she went. Don't know how much videoing I'm going to be doing out there, because it is, well, like every 4th of July, it's brutally hot outside. I just broke right off. I got something cool I'm going to be attempting on video before long. Not going to announce it yet, but maybe even next week. We'll see. I've been working on getting the reworking the leather shop website, because I'm not going to offer as many items as I did, but I'll start taking inventory of what materials I got in the leather shop, because I'm going to open it back up. It is pretty slow in the rock shop right now. Heat showed up, and boy, that just, kids are out of school, everyone's running around with kids and grandkids, and it's too hot to nap unless you got an air conditioned place to nap. Anyway, so I'm gonna open up the leather shop for a while. I've been missing it too, so I'm gonna finish this with, I really probably should have just done that with indirect, but I need to mow, but man, it's hot outside. Did I mention it's hot? But anyways, I can't believe this stuff just pot lit all the pieces. There was a couple pieces in there that were pot litted. Not any good, but Jaden looked down there and goes, "Oh, look at that, we forgot to take some out last time." Yeah, we sure did. I didn't know if I'd even build anything out of these because they did go so high. Looking pretty promising so far. Get her thinned down and got underneath it. Probably not going to do a bunch of pressure flake. I'm just going to kind of get them into a little preform shape. Boy, the birds are carrying on out there today. Hear them out there just carrying on. This should make a real nice bird point if I don't break it. This white grinding stone is a little finer and it does a little better job preparing that edge to make it quite as rough, especially if you get down to the detailed stuff. I like the coarse ones for turning edges quickly, but I prefer the edge, the striking edge that's prepared by that little finer abrader. I think that's good. I'm not gonna do any pressure flaking on this. We'll preform. Let's see what we can do with the next one. All right. Whew, this one may not work out. It does have, this one has a crack coming in like this. I don't think that's from the heat trees. I think it was just a cracked piece. This one might not be worth fooling with. Might also be too brittle now for this one. darker this Edwards is, the less heat it'll take. And I have never heated any this high. Will be interesting to see if this does make a preform. It's sharp. I'll tell you what, when this Edwards gets cooked, it is just incredibly sharp. It's sharp anyways, but when it gets heat treated, it's really sharp. Gonna be making me a little, I'll make me a arrowhead necklace, and then I'm gonna scrimshaw sort of the little hunchback flute player guy on it. So that'd be neat, I think. Probably not so much for everyone else, but seeing as how that I'm a flute player now. That I combine the two. Be pretty cool. Alright, I gotta get a band-aid. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I thought that was gonna quit bleeding, but it just wasn't. Just about good enough. Yeah, that's gonna make a nice little arrowhead. Couple more strikes and we'll call this one good. Nice little preform. Okay, let's look at this one. Now this is a mess. I don't remember messing with this thing. I don't remember if I was doing this raw or I have no idea how this came to be, but yeah, especially as thick as this one was, I can't believe this thing is still in one piece and not just dust. That's crazy. The only reason I can think of that this survived that much heat is slow ramp up and slow ramp down, which saves a lot of material. Just took out a killer load of Buffalo River. And I just put in a big load of Novaculite. Including a whole bunch of Novaculite slabs, which I'm going to be selling. I'm going to start selling some just slabs, just raw slabs. I'm not sure what the price structure is going to be, so I'm going to sell a lot of just slabs, so I'm not sure where the price should be at, but I'm just going to look at them, weigh them, and see where I need to be on them and put them out there so that, ooh, doggone it, took too big a bite on that. So I know a lot of people have trim saws and tile saws and things, but they don't have the big saws or the means to heat treat stuff like Novaculite that takes high temperature. So I'm going to be selling some slabs. So you can make your own preforms or whatever you want to do. Got to be careful of this one. It's pretty fragile after getting that much heat on it. I mean, it's relatively fragile. I clean this bottom off. There we go. When I finish this one, I should probably leave it thicker because I think it is going to be pretty snap and half-ish. Alright, the other one I got is this one, and it's already pretty much in a preform. I don't remember the history or how this one came to be either. Ooh, just threw that right into my finger. I think I need to use some pressure on this one. Yeah, so 600 degrees, a bit much. I just can't believe the stuff was laying there in the bottom and not just dust. Because you get flint too hot, you literally turn it to dust. Run a pressure flaker on it. I probably should have started with, got on after with a pressure flaker earlier, but I've been trying to do a better job about not wearing grooves in my grinders. I've been trying to straighten this one out, but as you can see, I'm still pretty groovy. Let's back this up just a little bit. And let's see, where is my hand pad? Not sure what I've done with my hand pad. Oh, there it is. Try and regularize this edge a bit. I gotta find the, well, I'm missing all kinds of stuff here. There it is. All right, that's the kind of point you're looking for, something like that. Just a good working point. Good way to break it. My grandson's birthday party yesterday. His second birthday. My grandson Casey. We got a place there in Idabel. It's called the District, and it's actually a Choctaw casino, but they have one end of it, most of it's casino, but then they have another completely separate part that's got rooms and stuff and for parties and arcade and bowling and all that stuff. So fun stuff. I threw a couple bowling balls. Used to like to bowl quite a bit. My wife and I went through about a year and a half there. We had memberships at a couple different bowling alleys in Texarkana, and we'd go down there and go bowling all the time. But we kind of moved on to other things, I guess. I should probably have my issue stick out here. am going to get my issue stick. Just easier on me. Got a bit of a curve in it. Try and get the curve out. Pretty narrow to be still trying to thin, but is what it is. Losing all my pads. I ended up making this a drill. And there what she's getting. Oop. Not gonna make anything out of it like that. Okay. I knew it was getting kind of thin and what have you, considering the material and how fragile it is. It's kind of more interested if I could do anything with it because of how brittle. But it's almost like working obsidian. Still make a point out of this though. Just save that like that. That'll make a nice little point, little birdie. All right, let's get back to, let's clean these edges up and see if we can do anything with this. Kind of messed up a little bit. Good grief, I broke it again. Okay. It is pretty fragile. Just not going to be able to get it all that thin, I guess. Just won't be able to get it that thin. I ought to wrap that in my, probably be doing that on some soft leather support. I just broke that tip off. Yeah, so 600 degrees, way too hot for this. Way too hot. Let's see, lost my pad. All right, here's my pad. sure I'll get anything to completion with this fragile as it is. Some nice flake scars across this side. Run a few in on this side, hopefully not break it. These are more decorative than anything. Alright, that was my wife. She needs to be getting water hooked up to the camper. She's getting it all cleaned up and ready for her trip. It ain't a very far trip. It's about 50 miles from here, something like that. But it's one of the only places left that's not taken completely over by tourists. Who would have thought Oklahoma would be a tourist destination, but it is. We're only a few hours from Dallas, so that makes us in striking distance for really close second homes for everyone coming out to Dallas and wanting to have cabins and stuff up here in these hills. Is what it is, I guess. Should have bought 10 of those cabins 15 years ago. 15, 16 years ago, you could buy those cabins up there, vaulted ceilings, you know, 2,800, 3,000 square feet, something like that, on 10-acre lots, backed up against Forest Service. And you could buy those for $190,000, brand new, beautiful homes. Now they're $1 million, $1.5 million. You might find a couple for $750,000 or so, but for the most part they're just out there, which has brought all the other prices up. So normal folks that are, I guess they're all normal folks. We're all normal folks, I guess. But anyways, it makes it tough for young people starting out because everything's so doggone expensive. Actually, a lot of young people here are moving over into Arkansas, because there's areas of Arkansas that are around that are substantially cheaper. If you don't have family land to build on or something, then it's getting pretty tough around these parts. It's funny because when we moved here, part of the reason we moved here is because land was some of the cheapest in the whole country, and just part of why we came here. Apparently cut myself again, huh? I was going to make a side notch, but I think I'm going to make a corner notch out of this. Side notch would have definitely been the safer option considering how fragile it is. We're not going to make super deep notches anyways. Hopefully it works. I think the next video, I think I'll do a little better material. I was just interested to see if I could do anything with this stuff because of how hot it got. But hour-long video for a little bitty point, but mostly about testing this. See what happened. Kind of wondering how this even forgot in there, but sure did and sure does. Happens quite a bit actually. Little stuff gets thrown in there and well, there we go. It's a pretty little arrowhead. A little bit of oil on it. Well, not that it needs it. It's plenty shiny. Get them other little bifaces out. Preforms. So at least it won't just go to waste. I'll be more careful with that other bigger one and get a little bigger point out of it. Not sure that I'll film that, but maybe. I was planning on making a couple videos today. That's a nice little point. I don't care who you are. Pretty. Birdie. Alright, let's see what we got. So we got this nice little biface here. It should make a point. Probably be more careful with it. Probably leave it as thick as it is. Just clean it up with pressure. This little one's going to make another little bird point. You can make a tiny little bird point out of that, and that'll make a nice little point also. But there's our mess we made out of those overheat treated, oops, look what happened, flint. And again, this normally gets heated to about 400 degrees. Some of it a little bit higher, but this here took 600. There was one piece down the bottom that did turn to dust, but I was surprised this wasn't dust, but still able to make a little something out of it. Just scraps out of the bottom of the, and apparently some little bitty bifaces or something that got left in the bottom of the kiln after that last load. They were probably layered in there on top of the rock was stacked in there. Were probably laid in there when they started pulling the rock out testing. These probably just fell down in there. They got down the bottom. There's a lot of little gravel stuff down their bottom, probably just got missed. But anyways, still pretty cool. Amazed that it survived it. But appreciate y'all watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Y'all keep napping.